General rules for the physical ability test. Running is not allowed anywhere on the course. Candidates should stop the course if they begin to feel chest pain, shortness of breath, or dizziness. Immediately notify any of the testing personnel if assistance is needed. The physical ability test is pass-fail. The Santa Fe County Fire Department Physical Ability Test, or PAT, consists of 4 phases. Phase 1, the Step Trainer Test. The Step Trainer Test is designed to evaluate the cardiovascular endurance of the applicant. Phase 2, the Combat Challenge. The Combat Challenge is comprised of 5 elements designed to simulate basic firefighter tasks. No previous knowledge or training is necessary to complete this phase. Phase 2 carries a 6-minute time limit for the applicant to complete the 5 elements. Phase 3, the Aerial Ladder Climb. The aerial ladder climb tests applicants' ability to climb 75 feet and perform a simple task once at the tip of the ladder. Phase 4, the Claustrophobia Test. The Claustrophobia test tests applicants' ability to work in close quarters while wearing an SCBA, or a self-contained breathing apparatus. Let's now go into the details on the test. The Step Trainer Test consists of a wooden step trainer with 3 wooden steps on one side with a platform on the top and 3 wooden steps down the opposite side. The candidates will don a 45-pound weight vest and must perform 150 revolutions in 10 minutes. Candidates must hit every step on the way up and down. Both feet must touch the ground prior to starting the next revolution. If candidate completes the 150 revolutions prior to the completion of the 10 minutes, the candidates must continue to perform revolutions until time expires. Rest period. After completion of the Step Trainer Test, the candidates will be given a 5-minute rest period prior to donning the equipment required for the Combat Challenge. The Combat Challenge contains 5 elements. For this phase, the candidates will wear a structural firefighting jacket, helmet, self-contained breathing apparatus without a mask, and gloves. Candidates will have a maximum of 6 minutes to complete the Combat Challenge. Element 1 and 2, the high-rise stair climb and hose hoist. The candidate must carry on their shoulder a high-rise load which consists of one section of 3-inch hose weighing approximately 42 pounds to the 3rd floor landing and placed in the designated drop zone. The candidate will then proceed over to the hose hoist area and with a hand-over-hand method, hoist the hose to the top of the tower. The candidate will then lower the hose back to the ground with the same hand-over-hand method. Once the hose roll is on the ground, the candidate will return to the high-rise pack and return down the 3 flights of stairs and place the high-rise pack back in the designated drop zone. The candidate will utilize every step up and down and may not use the handrails to pull themselves up. The handrails can be utilized for stabilization only. Auto fails for these elements include dropping the high-rise pack, skipping steps on the way up or down, allowing the rope to slide for longer than 6 inches on the hose hoist, and removing any personal protective equipment. A forcible entry simulator or Kaiser sled will be utilized. The candidate will utilize a 10.5-pound sledgehammer to drive the steel I-beam back 5 feet until the end of the beam reaches the end of the sled. An instructor will signal you to the completion of this task. Auto fail includes dropping the sledgehammer. After completion of the Kaiser sled, the candidate will serpentine around 5 cones to the next element, which is the hose advance. Hose advance. This task requires dragging a charged 1 3/4 attack line a distance of 75 feet. Once the 75-foot mark is reached, the candidate will discharge the hose line using a slow and controlled method to hit a predetermined target. Auto fails. Not crossing the 75-foot mark with the nozzle. Opening the nozzle too quickly. Dropping the nozzle. Victim rescue. This element requires dragging a dummy 75 feet, by any means necessary except by the feet or picking the dummy completely up. The candidate can stop and change or adjust grips as many times as necessary, but if the candidate drops the dummy and walks away, the candidate auto-fails. Aerial ladder climb is designed to test for fear of heights, hand-eye coordination, and dexterity. The aerial ladder will be extended to 75 feet and set at a 65-degree angle. The candidate will don a structural firefighting jacket, helmet, gloves, and appropriate sized ladder belt as per the instructional staff. The candidate will be placed on a belay line, and at the candidate's pace will climb to the second to last rung and utilize the ladder belt clip into the ladder. Once clipped in, the candidate will remove both hands from the rungs and lean back for a period of 3 seconds. Once the candidate completes these tasks, an instructor will signal the candidate to unclip and descend the aerial ladder. There is no time requirement for this phase. The claustrophobia test. The candidate will don a structural firefighting jacket, helmet, gloves, and a self-contained breathing apparatus with a blacked-out face mask. When instructed to do so, the candidate will be guided into a confined space prop. During this time, the candidate must not attempt to stand, remove the face mask, or attempt to exit the confined space prop. Once in position, the candidate must remain stationary for 2 minutes. Once the time expires, an instructor will signal and assist you out of the prop. Thank you for participating in the Santa Fe County Fire Department Physical Ability Test. The PAT is only a small step towards a rewarding career in the fire service and a lifelong commitment to serving the people of New Mexico and Santa Fe County.